All right, good afternoon, everyone. It is a quarter after 12 on September 24th, 2021, and today I get to do a $152 recap. And I only traded one stock today. It was MRIN. I could have traded it better, and that's for sure. Uh, we'll take a look at it here. MRIN. So this is one of the stocks that I was watching this morning. This is actually a stock that I've been watching since it popped up here on the 22nd. The 22nd it popped up on news. Let's get some sort of a revenue sharing scheme with Google. Let's see here. Yeah. MRIN Software unveils fresh revenue share agreement with Google. Stock surges in pre-market trading. So you can see here that on the 22nd of September, just a couple of days ago, it popped up really high and just kind of sold off. And I thought it was a little bit strange for it to sell off the way that it did. But, you know, we don't know the numbers yet. We don't know what kind of revenue numbers this collaboration with Google is going to, how that's going to affect revenues for MRIN. So until we find that out, really, everything's speculative. So today, and actually yesterday, I put an order in, and here are my levels. I'll kind of make it a little bit larger here so it's easier to see. So here's the open. There's a pre-market high on, I believe it was the morning of the 22nd of September. A pre-market high, $11.51. Now today, it actually made a run for 11.51, but stopped short. The high today was 11.42, so it stopped short by 9 cents on today's move up. Well, so what I decided I would do is yesterday, I was like, okay, this is a big run, and basically we've got all the way until there's another 49 days until the middle of November, I think, until this thing releases earnings again. So I was like, well, in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll start averaging into this position. I want to get into a rather sizable position here. MRIN is let's see how long MRIN's been around here. Let's change this to the weekly. Now let's go back. Let's see how far back we go. Yeah, this company's been around for a while, and its stock was down in the doldrums there, popped up a little bit in 2020, and then really had this big run up right here. So this is interesting. I don't remember seeing it pop up to 26 bucks. How did I miss that? Back to the daily. I might need to change. The levels I have are working out well, so. Oh, no, okay. All right, forget it. I remember that now. Yeah, so I remember MRIN ran up, and I didn't trade it during all this time that I recall. I think I sat on the sidelines on this one, just kind of watched it, wound up just watching it. So now this time, the stock price, whatever the news was back here in July, the stock price, so you can see it settled back down, not to its old lows or anything here, like $1.50, but down to about $5 or so. And now it's popped up again. So I imagine what it's going to do is it's got this one pop up right here, and it's going to spend quite a bit of time just kind of bottoming out. So I still have 200 shares. I traded a total of 1,000 shares on it today. I still have 200 shares, and I'm averaged in at $8. It says $8.14, but I know that's not right. I know what my brokerage company is doing is they're treating it like it's a wash instead of mark to market. So 8.20 plus 7.59 divided by 2. I'm in for about $7.90 a share on 200 shares right now. So it was nice to see it go up today in the way that it did. It was a nice, a nice big run up there. What I I think it would be premature for it to start running up past the $10.60 was its previous open here. It opened on the 22nd at $10.60, and it ran past that today, but couldn't hold on to it. And I think it would be a bit premature for it to continue to run. I think if things go well for this company, then the stock price ought to move fairly high. But I think it's going to take more time than this. I could be wrong. I mean, really, I could come in Monday and this thing will be at $18 or something. So, I mean, I have no idea what it's going to do. I'm looking to average into a position over the span of probably about 6 weeks. 60 days roughly. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. So today I made some money on it. 152 bucks. Let's see here. How did I trade this? Let's go to the 10-minute. Let's go to the 1 minute. Okay. So here it was. It had a little bit of a slow open, and now it popped up above this Fibonacci at $8.73, and I wanted to buy it right there, but I missed my opportunity to buy at about 873, somewhere around 875 or so, and it popped up. And so then after it popped up right here and then pulled back, the move back through $9.10 is where I started averaging in for my first trade on 500 shares. And I averaged in at a price of, it was $8.08, I believe. So I bought 100 shares at like $9.18, or $9.08 is where I was. And then I bought, as it dipped, I bought 500 shares somewhere between, here and here. I bought 500 shares, and then it started running up. And I was only looking for the next move on the to the next Fibonacci. I really didn't think that MRIN was going to gain the attention that it did today to make the move that it made. And so I sold for about a 30-cent gain. Here, let's see. Okay, so I made about a 30-cent gain on 227 shares. Yeah, this is the first 500 that I traded on it right here. And so, yeah, I mean, let's see, about $110 on that trade. Made about 110 bucks on that trade. Okay, I was kind of like, I'm just expecting this thing to make a move from this Fibonacci level to this Fibonacci level, which, let's see, 874 to 938. What's that? 24 plus 38 is 62 cents. So on a 62-cent move, I managed to pull down on 500 shares. I made $100, so about 20 cents roughly per share. So okay, I caught 1/3 of the move. I caught 1/3 of the move from this Fibonacci to that Fibonacci. Okay. Well, then this thing really started to get attention, and it hit the scanner over here, and this was its old high. And so I was like, okay, if this thing breaks through $10.60. Then there's probably going to be quite a bit more upside to it. I'd chickened out. So I was in 500 shares at $10.57. And I bought in right here, on this candle right here, anticipating the break of $10.60. It pulled back, and then it ran up over, went as high as 1080, and then started pulling back again. And right in here, I sold it, and let me pull this down. And I only made about 8 cents per share on 500 shares, so about 40 bucks. So it's kind of like, okay, and then after that, I just kind of called it a day. I've been sitting here watching the screens, but I haven't really. It's not like I haven't felt like pulling the trigger. I'd love to pull the trigger. I haven't seen a setup that's worth jumping on. Zevo, this is the one that I was looking at in the morning. This thing actually did a really good job of coming down. Some buyers came in and looped it back up again. It made a run here over this Fibonacci level here. This break would have been a nice spot to have traded it, but I really wasn't paying it any attention. I'm just not. The news is they got like someone resigned, like a board of directors or something. One of the directors on the board resigned or something, and I don't know. I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And this really isn't all that great of a setup, really. So I just it's kind of like, yeah, I'm not interested. IMRN this morning. This thing popped up to a pre-market high of $6.24, and then just fell away. It's right now it's at $4.67. Just completely petered out. No volume. Blah blah blah. Not even really worth having on the screen. UFAB. Now UFAB actually made. I think this one made another run, dip down. No. Okay, so here's its open. Yeah, no, there's nothing really there to trade on UFAB either, really. What was the other one? There's MRIN, AFRM. AFRM, I'm looking for 121.80 on AFRM, but let's take a look at this coincidence here. I'm going to get rid of all the rest of these horizontal rays real quick. And I like coincidences. I like trading coincidences. So here's the high, or I'm sorry, here's the close. AFRM made a close of, let's see, $123.70 on the 10th of September. Now, if we come over to today's, let's look at today's 10-minute. That'll be a good spot. Look at that. The low today where buyers came in so far today was at $123.77. So 7 cents away from the close on September 10th. You know, that's an interesting coincidence, isn't it? Let's see what happens. You know, I still have a target of, I don't know, 130 is the open. So and actually this one put in a trade this morning. I wasn't paying close enough attention to AFRM this morning. There was actually a pretty decent little trade on AFRM this morning. I'll show it to you. So the level that I am waiting on is 121.80. I don't know if I'll get it or not, but we'll see. You know, if I can get 121.80, then I feel if I can get on 121.80, I will have a good spot to risk manage. Much lower than 121.80, and I'll know I'm wrong. A close, like an hourly close below 121.80, I'll know my price is wrong, and I'll be able to get out of it. So, okay. Then let's go to the 1 minute. Let me show you the 1 minute here. This put a pretty good little opportunity in this morning. So here is the opening price, 130.26. And so let's see, it 130, it broke it on this candle, on this candle, on this candle, on this candle, and then right here on this candle, it ran up and it made a run to $133. Made a low of 128. Well, so that actually would have been a pretty tough trade to see it opened over and then fell down, and then yeah, that would have been a tough trade. So it did give the trade, but to stick it out after watching it hit the open and then fall away again, that would have been a tough one for me to have wanted to stick with. I don't know if it was all that pretty. That's not really a very pretty trade. When the stock comes down and then it goes back up above its open, I want to see it run immediately. I want to see it go over its open immediately, and not kind of get close to its open and then bobble around here and then run up. That's a little bit too risky for me. I may have or may not have. If I were paying attention, I don't know if I would have taken that trade. Well, I don't know if I would have. If I had taken that trade, I don't know if I would have gotten out of it profitably. Let me put it that way. So then let's see. Okay, this R-Walk Robotics thing, Rewalk Robotics. This thing managed to. I just had it on watch, and it did come up and break this 262 level, and I got 262. So back here on the 21st of September, this thing traded 320 million shares and only moved from $1.52 to $2.59. A $1 move from let's say open to close. It's a $1 move, and this thing traded 320 million shares. I think that's obnoxious. But anyway, what in the heck is going on there? That 320 million shares get traded for a $1 move, and it's insanity. All right, so here it broke 262, and the reason I have 272 on it says 271.5, but so it broke 272 or 262 here, and then came back and tested and tried to break that high, the high that it went to, but it really just couldn't do anything. And so I didn't mess with it. And the reason I didn't mess with it is that I was looking at the level 2, and the level 2 was just super crowded. There were buyers and sellers of like 15,000, 20,000, and 30,000 shares all over the place. Above and below the bid and the ask, there were just tens of thousands of shares up for on the bid and the ask at any given price. 251, 259, so on and so on. It was just super crowded. So yeah, I just stayed away from that. Now the dollar has been stubborn here. I have $93.39 is the upper end of the risk range on the dollar. You can see here it's kind of poked up above that level a bit and so forth. And then today it was just being really stubborn and just hanging around there. And I'm in some commodity plays in my portfolio, investment portfolio, that depend on the dollar being, at least behaving according to its risk range. When the dollar hits the top end of its risk range, it's a good time to get into commodities. And so today I've just kind of been sitting here, just waiting for the dollar to do whatever it's going to do, whether it's going to break out over this or tumble down below it in order for me to risk manage. So I'm kind of sitting here watching the dollar all day, really, after trading MRIN a couple times. Okay, everybody. So that's pretty much my day. Good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday morning's strategy session. I am out.